Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Welcome to an IHSA picking video. I'm calling this IHSA picking video instead of Fox Valley because I'm pretty much going to be going over all of the state championship games, making my picks, and only one of those games is a Fox Valley pick. But anyways, let's get on through. I'm gonna try and run through class 1A through 4A as quickly as I can because I do not know much about any of those classes. They're so small that I do not know much about 1A through 4A. But we're gonna start with 1A, where we have 6-seeded Forreston, who will be playing Camp Point Central. Forreston just beat Lena Winslow, and Camp Point just beat the #1 overall seed with Argenta or Oriana. And so I know that Forreston won a couple of years ago, but I think that this year Camp Point is going to win, Camp Point Central, and they're going to beat Forreston, so that's who I have winning 1A. 2A, we have Gibson City Melvin Sibley against Maroa Forsyth. I believe this is a rematch from last year. Hold on. I believe it's a rematch from last year, and I think Melvin Sibley won last year. I'm trying to look for the history of this matchup because I want to say that's exactly what happened. Shoot. Brackets 2A. Yes, this is a rematch from last year, and Melvin Sibley won by a last second touchdown. Last year's really weird because I went 5-3 when picking the state championship game, but a lot of the games that I got wrong were won either in the last minute or in overtime. So like last year I picked Memorial Forsyth to beat Gibson City Melvin Sibley, and Melvin Sibley scored a touchdown near the end of the game to win. I picked Prairie Ridge to win. I picked Nazareth to beat Prairie Ridge last year, and Nazareth ended up driving down the field on their last drive, and then with Prairie Ridge's lead, and then Prairie Ridge picked them off, and then Lake Zurich I picked to beat Batavia, but they lost in overtime. So a lot of these games that I picked last year were won either in the last possession or outside of regulation. So for this game, I'm going to say Melvin Sibley gets a second victory against Maroa, and they beat Maroa for a second time in the state championship game. Next game is Byron against Monticello. Byron just came off of a shutout victory against number 15 Herscher, and Monticello just beat Carlinville. I don't know any of these teams. I think 3A is the class that I know absolutely nothing about. I am going to pick Monticello to beat Byron, but I honestly do not know much about this matchup, so I have Monticello beating Byron. Next matchup, we have IC Catholic against McNamara. Now, I can tell you one thing is that McNamara just beat IC Catholic, who I believe won a state championship recently. Or they played in the state championship recently. But I'm going to pick McNamara to beat IC Catholic. McNamara is a 3 seed, and Elmhurst Catholic is a 1 seed. I'm picking McNamara just because they beat the 4 or 5-time state champion Rochester. So I'm picking McNamara to beat IC Catholic. Also, IC Catholic played against Richmond Burton, which is an area team in the same area as Cary Grove. They're not in the Fox Valley Conference, but they are in the area of the Fox Valley. Anyways, going on to 5A, we have Montini against Joliet Catholic. This is going to be an interesting one. We have two schools that actually play in, who are actually really good. I'm surprised Montini went back down to being 5A because the past few years they were a 6A team because they were so good. And I believe they also won the 6A state championship against, I believe, Crete-Monee, or it might have been some other opponent. But JCA is looking for their 14th state title. They hold the record for IHSA for the most state titles. I don't know who to pick for this game because it seems like a very tough game to pick. So it looks like Joliet Catholic pretty much dominated their way to get here because their smallest margin of victory to get to this point was 29 points. And for Montini, they had a 4-point win against Sycamore, which is kind of interesting because I go to NIU and Sycamore is like right next to NIU. I think I'm gonna pick JCA just because they've been there and they've done it many times. I mean, Montini's done it before a lot of times. JCA holds the record for number of state titles, so I'm gonna pick them to win their 14th state title. Next class is gonna be Cary Grove against Crete-Monee. Crete-Monee just upset Richards, and Cary Grove just beat Niles Notre Dame in a very exciting victory. At some point, Cary Grove was going to lose, but once Niles Notre Dame got to the red zone, Danny Daigle picked off their ND's quarterback, and Cary Grove drove down the field and scored a touchdown with like 20 seconds left. So Cary Grove Crete-Monee is a rematch from 6 years ago, when Crete-Monee used to have Laquan Treadwell, who's now in the NFL. I don't think that Crete-Monee is going to beat Cary Grove this time. I think Cary Grove is going to win, and it's going to be a close one. So I have the Trojans winning and actually bringing the state title home for the second time because this is the 5th time that so before now they've been to the state title 4 times. They're going to be their 5th time. They only won 1 state title, so I think that this time they're actually going to win a state title. Anyways, going on to 7A, we have 8-seeded Nazareth Academy, who will be playing 22-seeded St. Charles North. This is also going to be a very interesting game, just like 5A. This is going to be interesting because Nazareth played in the state championship last year, and they lost a very close one to Prairie Ridge. St. Charles North hasn't been to the state title in a while, or title game in a while. I don't know if they have been to the state title game, but I'm going to pick Nazareth to win just because they're probably kicking themselves for not winning the state title last year, and they're going to come in and they're going to want to win this time and actually like beat their opponent. So I have Nazareth beating St. Charles North. Finally, we have 8A, and we have number 1 Brother Rice, who will be playing Number 19, Loyola. Now this is kind of interesting because I'm going to Evanston today, and we're driving, or like literally when we exit the freeway, we're pretty much right by Loyola. I really want to pick Loyola. They've won it in the past couple of years. They are 19 seed right now. Brother Rice won like a few years back. I think this is going to be Brother Rice's opportunity to win once again. So I have Brother Rice beating Loyola Academy. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the state championship game. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys next time, and bye.